Well, hello everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and record this and get it out the way. So I was listening to I know y'all are gonna be like, oh my goodness, what are you doing? Sorry. Just adjusting myself a little bit. So I was listening to the third rail. And for those that know, that's Borzoi and some of the TRS folks. You can read between the lines on TRS. I'm not gonna tell y'all. Anyway, and some of those guys were making apologia for Nick Fuentes. They're like, well, Fuentes is a young guy, this and that. He didn't mean any harm. He's a dissident like us now. So I saw these third rail folks, and it's like, bruh, are you kidding me? Come on, man. I don't get this type of shield type of shit, where it's just like, are you fucking serious? Where these guys are like, well, yeah, he did some bad stuff, but it's like, no, man. Like I say, Nick Fuentes is a shill. You could say he's a young guy and all this shit. But it's like, bruh, he made his choice. He's got a whole crew around him. You know? He's got a whole crew of motherfuckers around him. So how are y'all going to shill for this guy and be like, oh, well, yeah, we should really be sorry for that. And by the way, the National Justice Party, as irrelevant as it is, was saying that basically, oh, yeah, what happened to the Capitol was based, bro. That's fucking stupid. And I say that knowing that I said some dumb shit too on the day, but now that I look back at it, yeah, it was pretty fucking dumb. It was pretty fucking dumb when you see the NJP do that. The National Justice Party. Golly, just ridiculousness. Anyway, I saw this type of bullshit. I'm just like, no, what in the fuck are y'all doing? And you'll see them try to forgive Nick Fuentes. I saw his stream because guess what? They kicked him off D Live. Oh my goodness. I only saw the tail end of the shit show, but it's like, I got kicked off D Live. Well, fuck Charles Wayne, and all this type of thing. I bet his real name's Shing Shong and Ping Pong, and it's just bullshit. And it's Cope. And he's like, oh, don't back order don't back order your Ninja Guineas and all that stuff that you gave me, and all the lemons and whatnot that you got on D Live, through blockchain. He's like, don't do that yet. We're going to get that in arbitration. Fucking shill stuff, man. Where it's just like, it's just absolute fucking coke to me. It really is. It's just such bullshit to see these guys try to defend Nick Fuentes. Nobody, and I will say this, I think in all honesty, nobody should be defending Nick Fuentes. No one in their right mind should. They should distance themselves as far as they can from this fool. Why would you get involved with him? It just makes me, I think that, some of their chat was angry. The 300 or so people that were in there. But it's like, why in the fuck would you do this shit? Why would you try to apologize for him? No, don't apologize for that fool. But anyway, to go on a bit further, it's just so ridiculous. It's like, well, we're going to get that money back from D Live, and it's like, trust the plan, everything else, a secret YouTube stream, and it's like, you can follow me. It's like, you can watch the new AF show on here. You click on the link and it immediately says, type in your email. And I'm like, fuck no. Why would you be that stupid? It's like, no, it's Fed shit. From all the stuff that's happened with like Patrick Casey and all that bullshit, like, yeah, we gave those names to whoever. It's like, no, you're doxing niggas. Why would you be this fucking stupid? But there are plenty of idiotic, wannabe tradcat zoomer types, mub-based groiper, who, by the way, of course, everyone was upset because, of course, Rudy Giuliani is like, well, the groipers, were this and that. Everybody was mad about it. Oh, we need to kill them. Rudy Giuliani's a pedo too. It's just so ridiculous. It's just so petty. And it goes to show just how dead the far right is. The far right today, and I know it could come back. I'm not going to say, oh, it's dead forever. No. But right now, in January 2021, it doesn't really exist. The only thing that it's really doing is coping on their little podcast where they can make their little bit of money, or giving money to their so-called political prisoners. people like Robert Bowers, I think it's Bowers, and people like Christopher Cantwell, and to say, yeah, well, they're in jail right now. We need to be giving them money for their commissary. So basically, so it's just a way to fund these morons that are in jail. This is the movement. This is how the movement exists today. Is we're going to worry about trying to get people out of prison, or at least give them enough money so that they can survive in jail. James Alex Fields too is on that list. I remember seeing this link that they gave out. It's just so ridiculous, man. It's just so ridiculous to see this type of shit. I'm just like, no. And like I say, the left, I think, in general, still exists, but the thing is that they destroyed themselves in a certain way, at least the modern day version of it. We've seen the separation between BLM, and the so-called white anarchists and everything else like that in Portland. We see this shit. We see these folks are just like, well, no, I actually believe this versus, and so we see this adventurism go on the left. And all these folks who are just, being edgy and shit like that, it's like, it's just ridiculous, So we're going to see what, maybe something will come out of this, and maybe there'll be some other group that comes about that, may come, that some folks will come from the so-called left or the far left, and some will come from the far right, and they'll create something new. I don't know. But right now, in January 2021, I repeat, as we see it now in January of 2021, there's not much that really exists, and there's very little legitimacy. And then I was kind of talking about this in the last video. The neocons and neolibs are still going to be here. The so-called centrists are the only ones that are left. And it's like, until those neocons and neolibs get out of line, which I don't think they will, because overall they pretty much just bootlick the system as it is now, regardless. They still love capitalism, So I don't know, but it's just right now, there's not much resistance to be seen, And I think people are going to take what they can from Joe Biden. And, I would just say, yeah, do what you got to do to survive. I'll put it that way to you. I think I've always tried to advocate that. Do what you got to do to survive, and to try to avoid getting in trouble, because, and try to stay clear of the, the glow sticks and everything else. These folks were just like, they're, you can see them in the glow in the darks, because there's a lot of feds out there. There's a lot of folks out there that'll be like, yeah, you need to, why don't you go attack this building? And it's just like, come on, man, Anyway, that's all I have to say. It's just so ridiculous to see now. All this bullshit going down. It's like, we've seen all these groups burn out, partly because of their own incompetence, and partly because they had feds involved. And yeah, like I say, it's a whole lot of feiwa going on. That's all I can really say to y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed that. See you later, and goodbye.